Welcome to ProStart Culinary Arts. Today we're diving into how the hospitality and culinary industry actually started and how it's still shifting, even now. And let me say, it's a wild journey. So we begin where so much does in Western kitchens, the French brigade system. Escoffier, back in the 19th century, he basically decided kitchens needed, well, military precision. Everyone had a single defined job. The fish cook, the saucier, pastry chef, you name it. Honestly, when I managed a place in London, we kept a lot of that structure, but we also had to switch things up when we launched delivery. Suddenly you need fewer specialized roles and more people packaging up meals instead of fussing over saucepans. Funny how technology and consumer habits, really shape what happens in the kitchen and beyond.
Exactly. You know, I always love talking about this in my classes because this structure set up everything that followed. And it's not just kitchens. The whole hospitality industry builds from these foundations. These days, we can break it down into 4 pillars. Lodging, like hotels, B&Bs, even an Airbnb counts, right? Food and beverage service, which is all the cafes, restaurants, even food trucks. Then recreation. That's theme parks, sporting events, you name it. And finally, tourism. All the transportation and guided tours. Every modern operation falls somewhere in those 4, which helps clarify why things get so complex so quickly.
Yeah, for sure. And I'll just add, the tech shift is wild. Fast food was a massive game changer. Suddenly, it wasn't about fancy technique, but speed and volume. I mean, that shift alone set the stage for QSRs, but also more recently for things like ghost kitchens. Like, my mate runs one out of a converted warehouse, puts 6 menus out just for delivery. No customers ever see the place, pure efficiency. But those old brigade ideas, they still pop up even in unconventional spots. If you're cranking out loads of orders, you need defined roles or it just falls apart, honestly.
And isn't it fascinating? All that formality, the brigade, haute cuisine, laid the groundwork. But as society wanted convenience, the whole field adapted. Cafes loosened things up. The Industrial Revolution brought mass production and preservation. Then along came quick service. And here we are now, where food can show up at your door in half an hour. The pillars are the same. But everything about the guest interaction, the efficiency, it's evolving at such a pace.
All right, let's peel back the next layer, business models and the logic behind them. This is where students get tripped up. There's commercial food service, think bars, cafes, those classic neighborhood restaurants. Profit is the main goal. Then there's non-commercial. Sometimes people say institutional, where the mission is tied to a bigger purpose. Like, I worked with students training to run university dining halls. Those are self-operated. The uni handles everything themselves, controls with them. But a lot of institutions contract out to the likes of Sodexo. Their main aim isn't making profit, it's supporting the broader operation, feeding students, patients, employees. You can feel that shift right when you walk in the door.
Spot on, Emily. And when it comes to who owns and runs the place, let's keep it simple. Independents are usually a single location, owner-managed, with lots of personality. Chains have a central owner and management. You see the same menu, same branding, everywhere. Franchises are the interesting hybrid. Someone buys the rights to operate using a chain's system and branding, but puts in their own capital, takes on local management. It allows for massive, rapid growth. Honestly, franchising is behind the burger joint popping up everywhere within months.
Yeah, and don't forget about the contract versus self-operation thing in schools, hospitals, even corporate. I remember a contract catering company coming in when I worked in a private hospital. Same recipes, same uniforms, but the culture changed. Those companies bring big systems. They buy in bulk so they can run things smoother, in theory. Still, self-operators sometimes keep it local and flexible, so there's always debate about what's better. Depends if you value efficiency or control, I guess.
And that's exactly what I see my students wrestling with in class. You know, whether you have more pride running your own dining program versus working within a massive corporate structure. The business model decides everything. Menu, atmosphere, staffing, even the level of risk you're willing to handle.
And for diners, that's why your uni canteen feels utterly different from the posh French restaurant down the street. Different goals, ownership, structure. It all shapes the guest experience from top to bottom.
All right, let's get into the real heartbeat, the people, the roles, back of house and front of house. At the top, in the kitchen, you've got your executive chef steering the ship, then sous chef running the daily grind, and specialists like pastry or grill. Even in modern kitchens, you've got to have those lines clear. Coordination's key for quality and speed. I've worked both big hotels, super rigid hierarchy, and tiny outposts with 3 staff sharing everything. But even in my Melbourne kitchen, when we went all in on tech and sustainability, roles didn't disappear. Instead, they morphed. More focus on inventory, digital orders, less time spent tableside.
That's right. And all that careful organisation in the kitchen only matters if it connects properly to the front of house. Hosts, servers, restaurant managers, catering managers too. The biggest thing I try to impress on my students is how critically these roles need to communicate. If FOH and BOH aren't synced, you feel it. The guest does too.
Absolutely. And when you think about the actual guest experience, how food is served, there's a spectrum. Table service with dedicated servers is classic for fine dining. Buffet, more common in hotels or for large events. Self-service. Cafeteria, classic for schools or some workplaces. You go down the line, pick what you want. And room service is its own beast. Food to your hotel room adds privacy or convenience. But regardless, it's all built around this guest-first mentality that's caught fire in recent years. Upselling, loyalty programs, complaint resolution. These are standards now, not just bells and whistles.
And add to that, things like reservation platforms, mobile ordering, even sustainability practices. These aren't just trends. They've become crucial. In my place, we put digital ordering in for delivery, and it changed not just our workflow, but also how we thought about guest interaction. Ghost kitchens, well, they push it even further. No front of house, purely back of house and a digital storefront. It's super efficient, but you lose that personal human touch. Makes you wonder, will people always want that face-to-face dining experience? Or is the future just great food, no frills, dropped at your door?
That's such a great question, and it's honestly the perfect way to wrap up this episode. We've gone from French brigades to ghost kitchens, seen how tech and business models evolve, but at the heart of it, people, whether in the kitchen or the dining room, still make or break the experience, even as the whole industry transforms.
Absolutely. So, thanks for joining us for this journey through the industry's history and operating structures. Keep your questions coming, because next time we'll dig deeper into career opportunities.
Thanks both. Always a pleasure, and I look forward to the next one.
Cheers, team. See you all next episode.